Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Vanderputten. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the service today on this absolutely glorious day. We are a community that seeks to be inclusive, welcoming you whatever your sexual identity, race, economic status, ability, or disability. Whether this is your first time or you've been with us any time over the past 75 years, you are welcome. And know that you are welcome to come bring your whole self to the service to grow, connect, and to serve. It was a pleasure today to come in and see how beautiful the grounds look. Thanks to all those volunteers who worked yesterday. Any of you were there? Yay, well, thank you. It really looks great. Yesterday at our lead service, we read different ways of expressing the UU principles, including those that would be more appropriate for children. And given that this is Earth Day, I thought one of the translations was so perfect. The seventh one, we take care of the earth, the home we share with all living things. Today's sermon focuses on joy, which I hope you experience today or sometime in the coming week. One way might be to attend the 75th anniversary dance party. There's still time to sign up. Another way, of course, is by giving, and there's still time to sign up for a pledge. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'd like to invite you now to turn to the folks around you and to greet your neighbor. And as part of that greeting, consider sharing something that you love or that brings you joy. It could be an activity or a place or a person or maybe even a pet or a favorite food. What brings you joy? So I love hearing the murmur of everybody greeting one another, but if we can make our way back to our seats, that would be great. Thank you. Our call to worship this morning comes from my colleague and fellow Meadville alum, Elizabeth Mount, adapted for our use this morning. From our very first breath, we reach out. Co-regulation, not self-regulation, is in our nature. We find our cues from the sun and the moon, from each parent and caregiver. We find our place in this great turning planet by turning to one another, generation to generation. We awaken to the dawn and fall asleep at the evening's end. Our life's journey is part of something greater, something simple, something wholly human and wholly transcendent. A flame cannot be lit without a spark. A life cannot begin without air. And we cannot begin to find ourselves without love. May we reach out to one another. May we offer love and nurturing care. May we join together in celebration of the interdependence of our lives. And in this spirit, let us worship together.
Good morning, everyone. Here at UUCA, we light a candle of compassion. Today, we hold in our hearts those who have been killed by gun violence in our country. We also hold compassion for those who have survived and their families. Yesterday, April 22nd, was Earth Day. Our compassion is with our siblings throughout the world who are living with loss from the increasing effects of climate change. And now, if you'll join me in our chalice lighting, we gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world. And now, please rise in body or in spirit as we sing This Joy. The words are in your order of service, and you're invited to bring your body into the song by clapping your hands, tapping your feet or cane, moving your body, or offering another expression that is comfortable for you. It's a fun song. I hope you enjoy it.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world didn't take it away. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
It was fun, thank you. So at this time, I'd like to invite the youth and the young at heart to come and join us up here on the chancel. You're welcome to stand or sit. We're actually going to join you on the floor today because we're going to ask you to do some movements with us. Come on up. Come on, you can come over here. Come on to the middle. Yep. So we're going to hopefully do some movement together today. And everybody is welcome and invited to participate. And our wisdom story this morning is based on a book published by Flamingo Rampant Press, Belle's Knock Knock Birthday by George Parker. The kid in this story, Belle, might be like you in some ways and not like you in some ways. Their family might be like yours in some ways and also not like your family in some ways. One of the things that I love about this story is how much joy the friends and family show for one another.
Day is a counting story with Belle's friends and family bringing 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10 things to their party. There are sounds to repeat for each gift, and we can also add motions so we can embody the joy in this story right here in the sanctuary. You don't have to remember any of the sounds or motions later. This is one thing at a time. There's no quiz at the end. And every group of guests in the story arrives with a knock, knock. When we say knock, knock, I invite you to repeat knock, knock, and to knock your hands on an imaginary door or maybe on the step to make a nice noise. So let's try it. Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Awesome. Great, let's begin.
So it's Belle's birthday. Who's coming to visit and share in the celebration? Baba, Papa, and Baby Boo are hanging the bunting and setting the table. Uncle Jack and Tom Tom are getting their party clothes on, and Belle is excited for their big birthday party.
Knock, knock. Can I hear some
Knock,
knocking?
knock.
Awesome. Who's at the door? It's Ike. He's brought one yummy rainbow birthday cake. Can you all rub your tummies too and say for the birthday cake? And you guys are welcome to join as well.
Knock, knock. Who's at the door? It's Ellie. She brought her 2 favorite instruments, clang, clang. Can you all clang your instruments? Clang, clang.
Knock, knock. Who's at the door? It's Uncle Sam, Auntie Joe, and Uncle Philip. Uncle Sam has brought 3 hot pies. Psh, psh. Auntie Joe has brought 4 bottles of homemade soda. Fizz, pop, pop. Philip brought 5 seedlings to plant. Grow, grow. So that's 3 gifts. Let's do them each one at a time. 3 hot pies. Psh. 4 bottles of homemade soda. Fizz, pop, pop, pop. And 5 seedlings to plant. Grow, grow. Nice job.
Knock, knock. Who's at the door? It's Grandmoney. They have a rainbow flag with 6 colors. Swish, swish. Can you swish your flags with me? Swish, swish. I see you in the audience. Good job.
Knock, knock. Who's at the door? Amalia and Osbert are here. Amalia has brought 7 trays of tacos. Crunch, crunch. And Osbert has brought 8 worms for the worm farm. Squish, squish. That's 2 gifts. First, let's pretend to bite into the crunchy tacos. Crunch,
Crunch, crunch.
crunch. And now, let's be worms, happily digging in the garden when we say squish, squish.
Swish. Knock, knock. Who's at the door? It's Jules and Max, and what have they got? Jules has brought 9 fruit sticks, slurp, slurp, and Max has brought 10 sushi rolls. Oops. So these fruit sticks are like straws. Let's squish our faces while we say slurp, slurp,
Slurp, slurp.
And it sounds like Max almost dropped the sushi. So let's hold out an imaginary plate to catch it while we say, oops.
Oops. There were 5 people in the house with Belle at the beginning of the story, then 10 more friends. What a great party. Everyone's here. Belle feels very special and loved. Happy birthday to you, Belle.
And that's the end of our story today. Our families and birthday parties may be similar in some ways to Belle's and different in other ways. Does anyone here feel joy when there's music? Yeah. I see lots of hands. That's nice. And who feels joy when you can plant seedlings into the earth that grow? Yeah. Lots of green thumbs and brown hands. Good stuff. And who feels joyful when you eat delicious food? Yeah, food's a big one. Does anyone here feel special and loved like Belle did when friends and family celebrate with you? Yep. How do you move when you're feeling really happy or free? So this is your moment, everyone. Can you show me? Yes. There you go. Can you show me how you move when you feel happy or free? Do you wave your arms? Do you dance? Yeah, there we go. We got some movement out there. Yes, awesome. Great. So I hope that here at UUCA and church is a place where you can feel special and loved. And I hope this is a place where you can find joy, no matter who you are or what you like to eat or what the shape of your family might be.
Now the children will continue to their classes, and other of us will continue the worship service here. Let's bless our children and teachers with song as they make their way downstairs. Thanks for joining us in the story, everyone.
Peace to you on your way. May you grow in love each day. Meeting new friends and opening your mind to the wonders of the world you will find. To the wonders of the world you will find.
I invite you now into a moment of meditation. Everything in this moment is an invitation. You know your body best, so only accept the invitations that are right for you. If it helps to give yourself permission to become present, you can close your eyes. Take a few full breaths. Fill your lungs if you can. With each breath, settle into your seat just a little more. Rest your back. Rest your feet. And rest your arms. Let your seat hold your body, and let the floor hold your feet or your wheels. As you continue your breathing, check in with your body. How does your body feel in this moment? Just notice what's there. What sensations are you feeling? Check in with your feet and your legs, your hips, your belly, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, and all the way up the back of your head, and forward to your face. Rest your body's focus on a central point, maybe your head, or your chest, or maybe your belly. As you inhale, breathe into that place in your body. And as you exhale, breathe out from that same place. Check in with your heart. What are you feeling in this moment? How is your heart right now? Just notice what your heart is feeling. What emotions are present for you? And you might be feeling more than one. Maybe there's a story that's sitting with you. Acknowledge that story and continue breathing. Whatever you are experiencing right now, it's okay. What you're experiencing is valid. Wherever you are in this moment, come back to your breath. Notice the sensation of your lungs filling with air. Notice the sensation of your breath leaving your body. And when you're ready, take one or two last full breaths. Gently open your eyes and return to the room.
Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón cántale tu compasión. Sol por volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Spirit of life, ven hacia mí. In my heart are the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
April Share the Plate will go to the Alianzas Accompaniment Program to support the International Accompaniment Program of the Network in Solidarity with the People of Guatemala, NISQUA. It will also help support the nearby Buckingham community. NISQUA provides accompaniment to organizations and individuals seeking justice and accountability for condoned genocide and the crimes against humanity committed during Guatemala's internal armed conflict. The Mayan Cosmovision, emphasizing our connection and responsibility for the earth, is deeply ingrained in NISQUA's work. They also stand with human rights leaders who are defending indigenous communal lands from the effects of international mining, hydroelectric dams, and agricultural mega projects. Anti-racist, anti-oppressive, and anti-homophobic skill building is also an integral part of NISQUA's accompanier training. To learn more about their important work and the Buckingham After School program, please make time to visit their table in Fellowship Hall after today's service. 70% of today's offering will be shared with the Alianzas Accompaniment Program, and I hope you will give generously to support their work. 30% of the offering will support our ongoing work here at UUCA. You can give today with cash in the plate, check, or any of the methods listed in your order of service on our website or on your screen. However you give, thank you for your support today. We are grateful. Will the ushers please collect the offering at this time? ushers please come forward? And thank you, Jesse, for that beautiful rendition of Ode to Joy. We bless and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to true generosity. Let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure. Let us be grateful for our needs and the experience of vulnerability. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation. And we're now having Dick Graham to give a 75th anniversary testimonial.
Thank you. Good morning, friends. I'm a 20th century man, and I'm going to talk about an event of the last decade of that century. For a span of 30 years, from 64 to 94, our church had two distinct footprints. The original 1940s red brick building is located on the far side of the parking lot. It contained the offices, for staff rooms, used for meetings, RE classes, plus a children's chapel. And following the murder of Reverend Reeb in Selma in 1965, it was named Reeb Hall. At the opposite end of the campus, Sunday worship services were held here in Charles Goodman's 1964 award-winning, classically proportioned, light-filled chamber of 4 concrete walls, pierced with these glass panels, encircled by the wonderful clerestory windows. The congregation met after the services downstairs for coffee and fellowship. The music director's office was also downstairs, archives of music, and the restrooms. That was it. This building was simply this inspiring worship space and the floor beneath. Everything else remained at Reeb Hall, the staff offices, the business of the church, meetings day and night, religious education, and the Arlington Unitarian Cooperative Preschool beginning in 1970. In 1990, the congregation appointed a building committee tasked with bringing us together under one roof, and it was my honor to serve as chair. Our committee sought maximum input from staff and members of church committees about their space needs. And during this design phase, we had many very long evening meetings with the architects, much to our spouses' displeasure. The architectural task was to create a relatively huge functional addition to the classic Goodman building without doing harm. Our architect's solution was to place a longer, lower, rectangular building on one end of the building. The new main entrance would be by means of a long entry ramp up to this sanctuary level that we use today. Once the architectural drawings were ready, our committee stayed close touch with the congregation by show and tell presence at the coffee hours. And we also had several congregational meetings at key decision points. We were well aware that the capital campaign was ongoing to fund this project, and we were supportive of that effort as well. So after these 4 years or so of planning and construction, what did we gain? Well, on this upper level, we gained a large fellowship hall facing the sanctuary, a commercial-grade kitchen, large storage spaces, the library, 3 meeting rooms, 7 staff offices, and open work areas, machine rooms, a large cloak area, and the restrooms. And the lower level contained expanded heating and cooling and ventilating systems, 20 religious education classrooms, RE storage spaces, child-sized restrooms, a large activity room and small kitchen, and the chapel. Since the 70s, the preschool has been a tenant partner with UUCA, utilizing on weekdays age-appropriate classrooms and the playground, spring, summer, and fall. After 4 years of meetings and discussions, our building committee was delighted in October of 1994 to lead a parade from Reeve Hall across the parking lot, up the ramp, and to a ribbon-cutting ceremony at our entrance doors, finally bringing us together under one roof. Since 1964, this congregation has been important to my family. Our 4 children came through the RE program. Daughter Beth was ordained a UU minister in this sanctuary on this platform. And my wife Nancy's ashes are in our memorial garden. That I was able to lead this under one roof project remains gratifying to me. Time doesn't allow discussions this morning of 2 other important projects: the recreation by artist Carol Hopper of a unique mural painted on the walls of the original Children's Chapel. You can see it downstairs in the present chapel. And the second project was the memorial garden that was constructed the year after 94. And if I urge you to pick up this pamphlet on the literature rack for more information about the garden. Thank you.
Let's give Dick one more round of applause. Thank you for sharing that church history, your touching personal history, and also for your leadership in giving us this beautiful space. Our reading today comes from Black American poet Joy Derricotte. This poem is from the Telecycle, a series of poems grieving the death of her fish. The title of this poem is Joy is an Act of Resistance. Why would a Black woman need a fish to love? Why did she need a flash of red living in the corner of her eye? As if she could love nothing up close, but had to step away from it, come back to drop a few seeds, and let it grab onto her, as if it caught her on some hook that couldn't hurt. Why did she need a fish, a red thorn, or among the thorns, that flower? What does her love have to do with 500 years of sorrow, then joy, coming up like a small breath, a bubble? What does it have to do with the graveyards of the Atlantic in her mother's heart?
I've been sitting with that poem a lot, and April is National Poetry Month. I love hearing poetry read out loud, and I especially love hearing it in a new voice, so thank you for reading that, Allison. Our call to worship this morning began with the declaration that co-regulation, not self-regulation, is in our nature. It ended with, "May we join together in celebration of the interdependence of our lives." As my internship here with you starts to wind down and come to a close in May, I've been thinking a lot about what I've learned with and from our time together over the past 2 years. I keep returning to the notion of interdependence, which is named in the 7th principle that affirms our respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Before attending seminary, I spent about a decade working and volunteering with local nonprofits in Asheville, North Carolina. These were service-oriented nonprofits that offered racism education, body movement as a spiritual practice, and spiritual exploration for queer and gay men, among other things. What I learned from this work is that we are interdependent, that our inherent dignity and worth, the qualities of our human relations, our spiritual growth, our global community are all held within our interdependence. I'm especially interested in human relationships as part of our interdependent web of existence. One of my favorite descriptions of honorable human relationships comes from feminist and poet Adrienne Rich. And if you've spent any amount of time with me, you've probably heard this before. She writes, "An honorable human relationship, that is, one in which two people have the right to use the word love, is a process. Delicate, violent, often terrifying to both persons involved. A process of refining the truths they can tell each other. It is important to do this because it breaks down human self-delusion and isolation. It is important to do this because in doing so, we do justice to our own complexity. It is important to do this because we can count on so few people to go that hard way with us. For years, I looked to this kind of hard way as an ultimately meaningful description that comprised the whole work of human relationships. The hard way formed a personal foundation for me to participate in collective resistance through relationship building, and it made this resistance worthwhile for me. The hard way moved me towards solidarity and allyship that was grounded in embodiment, liberation, and justice. In short, the hard way was good work. As I continued working in different community resistance projects, I repeatedly found myself joyless, depleted, and sometimes devastated. Who wouldn't be depleted by a process that can be delicate, violent, and often terrifying to both persons involved, even when it leads to expansively rich and beautiful relationships? While the hard way accurately described the risk and vulnerability required to grow an honorable human relationship, it was missing a source of nourishment that could sustain such work. As I was searching for that source of nourishment for myself, I started leaning into queerness. My understanding of queerness comes from womanist author and queer ancestor Bell Hooks. She has described queerness as being about the self that is at odds with everything around it. The self that has to invent and create and find a place to speak and to thrive and to live. I'm going to read that again. Queer as being about the self that is at odds with everything around it and has to invent and create and find a place to speak and to thrive and to live. I remember being struck the first time I heard this during a particularly joyless period of devastation in my life. Her description of queerness implied that thriving is necessary to continue resisting. She opened up the possibility that joy isn't a frivolous luxury, but a necessity. Hooks' queerness connected to Adrienne Rich's hard way by acknowledging the reality that we are sometimes at odds with everything around us and insisting that we create new spaces to thrive, even in the face of overwhelming resistance to our dignity and worth. Joy is an act of resistance. This is the title of the Toy Daracot poem that Allison shared with us a few moments ago. In my personal reading of the poem, I hear Daracot noticing, suddenly, a thriving and living amongst doubt and devastation. As she names it, I hear joy. It's not a disconnected, exhilarating joy, like the joy we're often sold in advertisements that promise happiness. It's a joy that surfaces from human fragility and propels the poet through the remainder of the poem. This kind of joy has an inextricable, direct relationship with experiences of devastation and terror. It's a joy that allows her to endure. Author Sharon Welch summarizes this in her assertion that we cannot numb our pain at the degradation of life without also numbing our joy at its abundance. There is a kind of joy that's described by all of the women I've named this morning who have helped me to endure. And I think of this joy as durable joy. I believe that durable joy has a significant role in renewing our ability to resist depletion and devastation. Toward the end of Joy is an Act of Resistance, there are a few lines where devastation and joy intermingle. Why did she need a fish, a red thorn, or among the thorns, that flower? What does her love have to do with 500 years of sorrow? Then joy coming up like a small breath, a bubble. This is the place where durable joy resides. Durable joy embraces that we are both simply mourning the death of a fish and also that we are connected to an expansive history that we cannot possibly hope to contain in any single moment. It connects us with something that is bigger than us, that is also wholly us. The invitation into durable joy is sometimes small and easy to overlook. A favorite song that makes you sing out loud? the effervescence of your friend's irrepressible smile, or the peaceful majesty of mountains on the distant horizon. For me, it was the Blue Ridge Mountains, where I could wander when the world was just completely wrong. Knowing that their immense beauty existed in spite of my devastating circumstances connected me with something that was more than just myself. They were here before me, and they will be here after I'm gone, and that persistent perspective lent me a sense of subtle joy. Take a moment right now and bring one of your own joys to mind. Maybe it's something that you shared during our greeting this morning, or maybe even something that someone had shared with you. I'll wait a few moments as you bring that joy to mind. As you recall this joy, notice what your body does. Did it maybe lighten or relax a little? Any hands? Yes, I see nods, thank you. I like seeing the congregation move. I'm drawing attention to our bodies because durable joy emerges from our particular experience of being a body in this world. As bodies, we navigate systems of power that attempt to regulate our dignity and our worth. And that regulation is often exploitative and oppressive. Part of my experience as a body navigating these systems includes that I am white adjacent, male presenting, and mostly able-bodied, among other things. I want to name that as part of my experience and acknowledge that this has a material impact on how my body interacts with systems of power. Durable joy can sustain us in the lifelong personal and collective work of resisting these detrimental systems of power. They attempt to reduce us and delude us into believing that our dignity is not worth our resistance. They attempt to isolate us, and we must refuse to be isolated. We must find ways to risk moving beyond our isolation and moving toward personal and collective joy. I want to be crystal clear. The sources of durable joy that come from our experiences as bodies in this world are legitimate. They are legitimate because they are grounded in our inherent worth, which cannot be reduced. When I say that joy is an act of resistance, I am saying that durable joy resists the regulation of our dignity and worth by insisting that these are inherent and irreducible qualities of our person and of every person. Durable joy can hold us when we experience the desolation of our human fragility and when we are transcendentally ecstatic, and every experience in that spectrum in between. It's the kind of joy that can acknowledge 500 years of sorrow and still call us back into life. Sometimes life can feel like endless resistance. To endure, we must know and remember our sources for durable joy. So I ask you this morning, where does your joy come from? What are your sources for durable joy? Who and what can you call upon in your moment of need when your own acts of resistance have depleted you? Maybe your joy comes from the intimacy of relationships. or the beauty of nature, or the wonder and ecstasy of artistic expression. Maybe it comes from something small that only your own body remembers. Whether you're in a peaceful place this morning or in a place of desolation, I invite you to notice one joy that brings your spirit reprieve. Lean into that joy. Bring yourself close to that precious source. Carry it with you beyond this moment and beyond today. So may it be. So I heard that I'm a historian in my undergraduate side of things, and I've heard that the pews in the church were actually installed historically to prevent people from dancing. So I just want to bookmark that for y'all. And so I want to invite you now to stand in body or spirit for hymn number 1021, Lean on Me, and encourage you to maybe find a place of joy in that and move or clap or sing or whatever calls to you this morning.
Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be a friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things that you can't carry, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let. So lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on my brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Just call on my brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
We extinguish this chalice, but not the light and warmth it represents. These we carry with us, bringing our sparks of love to the world.
Friends, joy is an act of resistance. Resist isolation. Lean into one another. Find your sources for durable joy. Go boldly, embrace your joys, and keep resisting together. And in closing today, we're going to hear Freedom by Jean-Baptiste. And if you feel inspired to stand or move or clap or do any of that dancing that we talked about, please do that. Thank you.
When I'm moving body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. Free to live, I'm get, 'cause it's my freedom. I love how you talk, you're speaking my language. The way that you walk, you can't contain it. Is it the shoes? Jumped up kangaroo. We're overdue for a little more prancing. Now is your time, you can shine. If you do, I'ma do too. When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. Free to live, I'm gonna get, 'cause it's my freedom. The reason we get down is to get back up. If somebody's around, go on, let them look. You can't stand still, this ain't no drill, more than cheap thrills. Now is your time, you can shine. If you do, I'ma do too. 'Cause when I look up to the stars, I know exactly who we are. 'Cause then I see you shine, you shining, you shining, oh. I'm stuck to the dance floor with the whole tape, with the whole tape. I'm stuck to the dance floor with the whole tape, with the whole tape. Give you what you asked for, giving you the whole shake. I'ma give you the whole shake. I'm stuck to the dance floor with the whole tape, with the whole tape. I say yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. 'Cause you do, I'ma do too. When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. Free to live, I'm gonna get, 'cause it's my freedom.